causing delays. And now a look at the markets brought to you by JBL Financial. Tune into Straight Talk on Retirement Saturday mornings from 9 to 11. The Dow is up 307 points at 47,939. NASDAQ down 253 at 23,705. And the S&P 500 down 25 at 6,864. In sports, the Blues look to snap a 5-game losing streak when they host Vancouver tonight at Enterprise. The Note has allowed 5 or more goals 4 times already at home. We're looking for sunny skies today, an afternoon high near 59, mostly cloudy overnight with a low in the low 40s. Sunny tomorrow with a high of 61. Right now at 10:06, sunshine, 47 degrees at the Gold Tower at Westport. Steve Potter, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
And now, the Frank and Jill Show. It's Frank Cusimano, Jill Farmer on the Big 550 KTRS, the talk of St. Louis. Powered by STL Medical Weight Loss. See the Dr. Joe difference at stlmedweightloss.com.
All right. Good morning. Welcome to the Frank and Jill Show on the Big 550 KTRS. Royal Banks of Missouri text line 84126. Dr. Rick is going to be with us. He's been away for a while. He'll join us in a different slot just for this week at 10:35. So get those questions in on the Royal Banks of Missouri text line. And our weekly special is a new place in St. Louis. It is called My Place, and it was recommended by our friend Chet Pleben,
who knows all the things.
Yes, he's a very smart guy. And if you don't believe me, just ask him. But he has Mediterranean and Indian foods on his menu, and it's really a high-tech kind of place, too. I got to tell you about this. They have a large computerized bar where the bartenders push a button to make a drink, or you pour your own beer from some 30 taps. How about that?
I know, that's really cool. And I'm interested to hear about the blend of food they do there, too. Mediterranean and Indian are two interesting blends. I'm a huge Indian food fan, so excited to hear all about that. That's going to be great. Did you notice the Golden Glove appears to maybe be on the move? The giant golden...
The Gold Glove?
Gold Glove. Is it Gold Glove, not Golden Glove?
Gold Glove, yeah.
Okay. Golden Goose.
It is a golden glove.
But you wouldn't call it that.
Call it the Gold Glove.
So what I'm talking about is here at Westport, Rawlings has... How you guys have to help me with the dimensions. 15 feet tall, I would say at least.
Yeah.
Probably 12, 15
really
feet
big.
wide.
It's been out in the parking lot.
Been in the parking lot for a month or so. They said by mid-November they were going to have the steel structure in place so they could put it on top of the building. And it looks like they're kind of lifting it up with a crane this morning. I mean, you could kind of see the real size of it, the scope of it. When I looked at it this morning, I was like, I have to say, I mean, it's really impressive. It's going to be something that when you come to St. Louis, people are going to swing out to Westport to take a look at it, particularly for if you have a baseball player or a kid. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is amazing how they can do that. I mean, my only concern is how do I get a humongous, like 83-inch TV up in the bedroom? That's
83 inches is what we've moved up to now.
Well, she's completely against it. She said, butt out, stay away.
She wants to replace it with the same size.
Don't get a bigger TV. But all these things will go on deaf ears because she'll be gone tonight. She'll be at some Halloween party with the grandkids. I'll be working and then heading right to Costco at about 6:45 and just going to the guy and saying, I want that one, the biggest one you got.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, I'm taking over. I'm not afraid of her. Well, I am.
Okay. Well, I would like to fact check exactly how this unfolds tomorrow morning. Everybody stay tuned. First thing, top of the show, we will let you know how that whole saga goes. But but really, though, Monique would just like to have the same size that's there. She thinks it works well. What size is it?
I mean, I don't know. It's not big at all. And we have a humongous wall. So why not put a humongous TV? And my response to her today was, "What are we entertaining in our bedroom? The only people are going to be there are you and me. And why not have bigger and better?" So
wow, okay.
You don't want to push it too far, Frank. Maybe she'll say, it would really be healthier if we didn't have a TV in the bedroom.
Well, you I did make that rule like for a short time in our marriage for a while, and then it didn't last very long.
You didn't have a smaller TV or no TV?
We had no TV in the bedroom for a while.
John, I feel so sorry for him. How long did this last?
Oh, I'd have to ask him. It's been a long, long, long time ago. And it was back in the day when we didn't all have TVs like mounted on the wall in our room. I mean, it wasn't that long ago where you had to have like a structure or something to put the TV in. And so we had one kind of precariously. The kids were little, on top of a dresser in the bedroom. And one time one of the kids was climbing up the dresser. And I was just like, we don't even need to watch TV at night. We can watch TV out in the TV room and then come to bed.
Now, Connor, you said that how thin the thing is now, right?
Yeah, well, at least some of them get real thin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what you're going to look at, or what are you looking at?
Oh, in fact, I had that one down. I told her that, and she knows that I know nothing about TVs. And she says, "How did you come up with that?" I said, "I just researched it."
You did some research.
You did research it.
From the Royal Banks of Missouri text line, you guys are on fire already on a Thursday morning. Don't stop at 83 inches, Frank. Best Buy has one on display right now, 120 inches. And then on a slightly different topic, which I love, I'd like to thank the city streets department for improving my memory. I now remember where all the potholes are. Huh. They do just come back in the same spots, don't they?
Oh, yeah. And, there's the downtown, right around that Washington Avenue, around where the MAC is. I mean, you almost have to be like a race car driver avoiding some of those potholes. It's rough. It's gotten a little better, but it's still rough.
Yeah, some brilliant student is going to figure out how to create a road surface that doesn't have potholes, and then we'll be, telling our grandkids or great grandkids someday, back in the day we used to have to drive over these really deep divots every time we'd go from point A to point B, and we'll talk about it like a memory.
There was a real bad one out here for a long time, getting off of Page on, if you were coming off of 270 onto Page right onto the west, like that whole kind of circular deal. Uh-huh. It was very bad for, I want to say 6 months.
Yeah.
But they have patched it. So.
There are some, if you're not really paying attention, you get one of those ones that's got the real sharp edges where it kind of rattles your molars, and you're like, how'd my tire weather that one for sure.
Yeah. All right, let's take our first break. We're going to have the opening dialogue when we come back. This is the Frank and Jill Show on the Big 550 KTRS.
You've heard so many people talk about Innsbruck. Now it's time to see for yourself. 7,500 acres, 100-plus lakes, on-site restaurants, an 18-hole championship golf course for you to go play by yourself with some friends, or maybe even a charity event, nature trails, event spaces, and so much more. Innsbruck is 45 minutes from St. Louis. It's so close, and yet you feel so far away. Go see Innsbruck for yourself. Innsbruck-resort.com.
It's Julie Buck here to tell you that the patio is open at Bishop's Post right next to Chesterfield Mall. Get your reservations in now and go to Bishop's Post. You will love it. Tell them Julie Buck sent you. BishopsPost.com.
Black Friday savings are underway at appliance discounters. Take an additional 5% off any sale price. Speed Queen, GE Profile, Cafe, Bosch, LG, Frigidaire. It applies to all the brands. Next day delivery and installation, interest-free financing, locally owned, and the largest appliance retailer in St. Louis. 5% off any sale price, 6 locations, Afton, St. Charles, Baldwin, South County, and Maplewood, or online at theappliancediscounters.com.
Hi, this is Dr. Dan Lang. Join me for Animal Talk every Sunday afternoon from 2 to 3 on the Big 550 KTRS, the Animal Talk of St. Louis.
Everyone's talking about these weight loss drugs, and it's a good thing we've got Dr. Joe Molesky with us, a St. Louis native and board-certified primary care physician. Dr. Joe, it can get very confusing, but the one thing we need to know is GLP-1, right? That's the magic cure.
The magic cure is these weight loss shots. They're injected once weekly. They're not like the old medications that you've seen 20, 30 years ago. These medications actually work. They're injected once weekly, and patients see within the first 90 days 10 to 15 pounds down. It simply works, and that's why I recommend it to all of my patients. You simply go online, book an appointment. You fill out a health questionnaire form. You get an appointment on our schedule. It's all telemedicine based. It's all done from your home. And then you meet with me or one of my nurse practitioners. And then after the 10, 15-minute consult, the medication is delivered right to your door discreetly, and you get started right now on your weight loss journey.
And you want to start to lose weight? None better than to call stlmedweightloss.com and ask Dr. Joe. stlmedweightloss.com.
Hey, Heidi Glaus here, asking you to join us weekly as we present the KTRS Book Club, presented by the St. Louis County Library for readers of every generation. Books transport us anywhere our imagination wants to go. They are absolutely magical. The KTRS Book Club will introduce you to local and national authors, events, and special programs presented by the St. Louis County Library every week from 3 to 6 right here on the Big 550 KTRS.
Are you retired? Are you thinking about retiring? Who is helping you with retirement? Might be time to check out the show When Retirement Happens, hosted by Kevin Lloyd of Legacy Wealth Advisors. Saturday at 1, Sunday at noon on the Big 550 KTRS.
And now the opening dialogue with Frank and Jill on the Big 550 KTRS. Powered by Worldwide Technology Raceway.
How about Howard Richards checking in? LG 85-inch QLED in the bedroom. How about that? All right, here we go.
LED. That's LED is LED. Yep.
By now you've heard of the doctor from Texas, from Austin, Peter Attia. He has fewer than 75 patients. He's attracted millions of followers. Billionaire patients pay over $100,000 for his insights. He basically says at age 75, men and women fall off a cliff. And his whole mission is how to get somebody another 15 years. Make those 15 years as enjoyable as possible. And we've all seen our relatives fall fast, or maybe it was an aunt or uncle, maybe it was an old friend. So how do you train for that decade? Well, they come to him, they're evaluated, and the 52-year-old doctor finds out how strong you are and how well you move. He thinks the testing, the physical testing, will determine how long you will live more than blood test. The key indicator, physical testing. It's called the VO2 max. It measures the size of your engine, basically. How you use oxygen to generate power with your muscles and heart. 60 Minutes profiled him this week, and he says he treats people between 45 and 65 now have to train like athletes, really go at it hard, and you can read his stuff online to find out more about Peter Attia. So with that said, I watched it during a dinner break last night, and then I got home at 11 o'clock, and I normally take Reg for a walk, but I just was so motivated. We just did sprints after sprints on the Temple Israel parking lot. I mean, I think we did about 12 of them. And then I wake up today, and that left leg is not feeling good. But I do agree with the premise. You got to fight, fight, fight. And this is the age to do it. It's not the age to slow down. It's the age to lift weights and to run and do a bunch of cardiovascular.
Although, I mean, I listen to a lot of his stuff. I really like him. And I think he's the doctor that coined the idea of health span versus lifespan. So his idea is you're better off living to be in your early 80s, doing everything you want to do until the day you die, when you know your heart stops, or you have something, a sudden onset, something that gets you down, versus living to be 95, but the last 10 years of your life are in a wheelchair.
And his biggest motivator also happens to be mine, and I bet almost all of our listeners. He wants to be able to have a role in his grandchildren's lives, and that's why he wants to be sharp between 75 and 90.
Yeah, I think his stuff is really interesting. He's evolved a lot. He used to have very specific, only do this kind of diet. And now he's saying people's bodies are too different. You have to figure out whether you do intermittent fasting and somebody else does high carbs versus low carbs. But he's really consistent in also saying you need to, even if you don't do sprints and that high stuff that's going to, climb mountains or do the high VO2 stuff, he says we should be walking in nature all the time, and we should be walking with other people when we can, because that connection to other people while you're physically moving your body is really important as well.
Or other dogs.
Or dogs. So
yes.
You're saying Reggie is an improvement over a lot of people you could walk with.
I can't think of anybody I'd rather walk with.
Yeah. I get that from you, because I bet you really like being able to talk and then not having somebody else give any other thoughts back to you.
Oh, boy. There you go. Folks, there you see the real Jill just taking shots. Little subtle left-hand jabs. Down goes Cusimano. Good work. All right, go ahead.
Okay, my thought one for me today, if I can remember what I was going to say. Oh, I thought this was absolutely hilarious. It's almost Halloween. Of course, we are just one day until Halloween is coming tomorrow, and so everybody assumes it's Stephen King's favorite Halloween. Well, it's not. And listen to this interview he did with Conan O'Brien a few years ago about why he is not such a fan of this incredible holiday that we're having tomorrow. So he said it just got like people would come in from all over the country just to line up and say, I trick-or-treated at Stephen King's house, so he no longer is able to do that. But I never would have thought of that, but I guess he is so associated with all things spooky. That's why.
Certainly, when you think of Stephen King, you think scary. Yeah. All right. Thought two. So as we have discussed quite a few times on this program, one of the biggest ripoffs in this country today is the cost of college. How they charge what they charge is incomprehensible. And what they do to kids in terms of paying off these bills until they're 40 is brutal. I mean, I don't know how anybody can get ahead with these mounting bills. I mean, you get out of college and you're still writing a check for $500 a month, and you have a car payment, you have insurance, maybe an apartment, maybe a house. It's almost impossible. And just so you know, for the people who aren't paying tuitions right now, Pepperdine, $93,000, Northwestern, $91,000, University of Chicago, $86,000, USC, $90,000, among others. Now, we do know that in spite of all of this, American education is still the best in the world. But let's just make it affordable. The question is, does anybody think the Trump administration is the one to do it? Now, they sent a few universities some notes about offering reforms and asking them to reduce cost. It's asking universities to freeze tuition for several years. Other things on the table, by the way, is capping foreign student enrollment and ensuring campuses are physically safe. The danger is if they don't do it and the Trump administration withholds federal funding to those who reject this, how damaging that could be to academic research, medical and scientific breakthroughs. So there are pros and cons with the idea. And today it's interesting because in the Post-Dispatch, they have a columnist pro this idea, and then they have a columnist ripping the idea. So there's interesting points on both sides, but it's something that's got to be discussed. And I don't think anybody would disagree that colleges are too expensive.
They are. One of the reasons they're so expensive is because the consumer demand has again required it. In order to be competitive, kids wanted to go to places with really fancy dorms and single rooms instead of living in those, bunks that were the bunkers with the concrete block walls like we did when we were there. And so,
or kids want to go to schools with great football programs, and now it's tougher to get in there. Like as I said before, the only qualification to get into Tennessee was a pulse. Now they have these great sports, and now Tennessee actually turns down people. So you got a lot of people going, so you move up the price.
Right. It's that supply and demand situation. It's hurting small private universities around, which have kind of uniquely given a certain kind of education to people, and kids seem to be wanting to go for those big school experiences. But they drop out much higher. Dropout rates are much higher. The retention rates are much better at the smaller private universities. Not even the most expensive ones. I'm talking about a lot of the middle of the road ones too. I don't understand the math. Maybe you can help me understand this, because foreign students come from all over the world to our universities and pay full freight. Generally, they go on no scholarships. So a lot of universities, including every single one, like SLU in Maryville, Lindenwood, everyone in St. Louis, they rely on those foreign students paying full tuition to help American students go on scholarships. And so I guess I'm not sure why limiting them coming is beneficial.
Yeah, I do not. I don't know if that's actually in terms of lowering the cost of tuition. That's just another
because that will raise
Trump.
tuition for American kids. It will. We know people in higher education at every university here in St. Louis that will say that's one of the biggest reasons tuition will go up if we start to limit the number of kids that can come in and learn in our universities from other countries. Thought number 2 for me, a little bit of bad news about spending your dollars. But this, sometimes I guess I'm just getting older and crotchetier about this all the time. But there are the certain price tags of things that still shock me. And when I saw this headline come through, if you want to go to Disneyland Resort in California coming up the next year, and for tickets of guests $10 and older, the price of a single park ticket, any guess from you guys what you think it will cost you to go to Disneyland or Disney World next year, just if you pay the full freight, walk up, buy your ticket at the door?
What, just one ticket for one adult?
Or one kid anybody over 10 years old.
Okay, I'll take a stab and say $85.
Okay, and how about you?
Can I get a baseline? What was it?
I don't know. I haven't bought tickets for a really long time.
Yeah.
It's going to be higher because it's going to be more outrageous.
Yeah, it'll be higher. I don't know. I hate to just kind of go a little bit above Frank, but maybe just a flat 100.
$224 per person. I know. I thought that just
this
blew.
This is Disneyland and Disney World. Both
Disney World is up $209 if you just buy it at the door. Now, many people say nobody buys them at the door. You buy the deals that you don't. That would be for the highest price if you go on some of the most expensive days. But most days will cost you between $119 and $200 a day. How would you take? I mean, I'm thinking Jill and John taking our girls, or Frank and Monique taking the 3 kids for a 3 to 5 day vacation to Disneyland, Disney World. You'd have to save up for it forever.
Yeah.
Same thing with skiing. I looked those prices up, running anywhere from $99 to $300 a day at the Colorado resorts.
And probably a Coke and a slice of pizza would cost you like $50
at Disneyland or Disney World. I have to think so. I know there are people, and many in St. Louis, who love it, and they have it down to a science. They know how to do it from a cost-effective perspective. Our friends at Altair are very good at getting people to do that, but still, that is a lot of money for one day of somebody's life.
Along those lines, for a question for both of you, how do you feel about adults who go to Disney World a lot? No kids, they just go.
The Disney adults.
Yeah.
I know some people in my life who are Disney adults, and I understand it better than I used to. I used to think it was a little bit strange, but I think it's just, there's something about the experience that's just so fun. There's a lot of gamification of it for people, and I'm like, if they love being around that for fun. It was a little bit torturous for me. I'm going to not lie. I went, took the kids, checked it off the list, and had no desire to go back. But for other people, they feel like they're in a totally relax. The things that you and I like doing, some people think of torture as to play a round of golf or to go on a vacation to do nothing but golf. That's terrible to them because they don't like it. So, but I'm guessing by your question, it's not something that you would choose to go do for fun.
No. Thought 3. Happy 89th birthday to the great Dick Vermeil, who looks and sounds like $1 million. He has Vermeil Vineyards in Napa, which I have visited, and he is a red wine drinker. Just saying, there may be something there with his way of fighting back Father Time. He was a believer in the line that Jim Valvano used to talk about. Valvano said, "My dad gave me the best gift. He believed in me." And that is what Coach is about more than anything. Sure, he knew football. He was the league's first special teams coach and coached teams to greatness in every stop, Philly, St. Louis, and Kansas City. But his best gift was his personal skills and believing in people, perhaps too much at times. Lawrence Phillips was a troubled man who died in prison. When he finally had to cut this problem out of the Rams organization, Randy Naughton from Fox 2 asked him a question about him being emotional about having to cut him, and Dick Vermeil, in front of all of us, cried because he felt so badly about releasing Lawrence Phillips. He was the original coaching burnout story, the original one. He had a near breakdown in Philadelphia. He slept at the office and worked 20 hours a day. The breakdown happened in his car one morning when he physically could not get out of the car to go into the office. He had to call Carol, his lovely bride, and he said, "I can't move. I physically can't move. You have to come and get me." And that's when he knew he had to get out of football. He came back 14 years later in St. Louis, and his biggest regret was retiring here so quickly, 11 days after he won the Super Bowl. But he found success in Kansas City. And my best Dick Vermeil story is when he got here and things were not going well those first 2 years, like they often did in his first 2 years of a coaching stop, he was struggling, and he came to Kemal's one night, and we had a chef. And the chef was a football savant. He thought he knew everything, and he used to critique Dick Vermeil in the Kemal's kitchen to everybody who would listen to him, and not many of us did. And so Dick Vermeil comes in for dinner one night with Mike White, his assistant coach, and my brother Mark said, "Hey, Dick, would you do me a favor and come into the kitchen and say hi to this chef?" So Mark brings him into the kitchen. It was a busy night, and the chef almost had a heart attack. My brother says, "Hey, chef, I want you to meet Coach Vermeil." And then my brother said, "Well, why don't you tell Coach Vermeil what you think about his coaching?" And then he was like speechless. And Dick Vermeil signed something for everybody. He was like, could not have been more cordial. Just love that man.
That is incredible. Yeah, Lawrence Phillips, LP, because he came from the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Of course, John, lifelong rabid fan. He was always like, is there any way we could meet him and try to be a positive influence in his life during his St. Louis years? I was like, I don't think that anybody's really interested in us doing that for him, nor would he be. But it is a heartbreaking story because it shows what trauma in childhood can do, even when you have all the great opportunities in life and continue to make bad choices. Tough stuff. Fall, it's kind of officially, in my mind, finally arrived this week. And I just want to list a couple of my favorite things about it. Yesterday, for the first time, I turned on the seat heater and the steering wheel heater in my car. I could drive around a jalopy, and if it had a seat heater and a steering wheel heater, makes me very happy.
The important thing is I could, but I don't. But go ahead.
You don't? Yeah.
No, I'm talking about you.
I drive a 2021 car that's worth less than $20,000. That's not so bad.
Come on, Connor. Give me a smart aleck remark here.
I don't know. I don't know if I don't want to get involved.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, Mom, Dad, I don't need this from you guys. This is unhealthy.
We've seen the car and the chauffeur, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
Exactly. Yeah, he's good looking, isn't he? Turned on the seat heater, steering wheel heater, lit our fireplace for the first time. I have to say, driving in on a sunny day, the leaves are turning. It's just amazing. I've switched out my shorts and T-shirt for my casual wear when I come home from work into a full sweatsuit, which feels good. Switching my shoes from sandals to boots or booties. You guys don't do that. You don't really have, unless it's a snowy day, there's no switching out shoes. But for women, there's this kind of changing of the guard when you pull out the suede boots and the leather boots and the stuff that's more winter and fall appropriate. It's just kind of a fun rite of passage. Anything you particularly like about this time of year when the weather gets a little cooler?
I like turtlenecks. Yeah.
You like turtlenecks, and you like the heated blanket.
Oh, that's a good call. Yeah, the heated blanket's good stuff. Yeah.
Hey, get your questions in. Dr. Rick's going to join us in just a couple of minutes, 84126. We've missed him for last week, so I know that you guys have some pent-up questions. Get them in now on the Royal Banks of Missouri text line. Also, we were talking about travel and the fact that just if you pay full freight to so many of the big attractions in our country right now, you're probably overpaying. You need somebody on your team like Altair Travel and Cruises to be able to understand when the deals are. They can look at a calendar and say, yeah, this is where you're going to get the best deals. This is where you're going to get the worst deals. This is the best package to buy it within, so that you can save on things like folding in your food and your accommodations. They have so much experience. Sherry on their team is all things Disney, but if you have no interest in going to Disney, but there's other resorts or locations in the world, I guarantee they have a specialist who has expertise in that area as well. And they love, love, love hearing from customers who come back every time gushing about what incredible experiences they had. And they wish they would have hired Altair earlier on past trips because they do such a great job. Altair Travel and Cruises, 314-968-9600, altairtravel.com.
And now, KTRS weather.
The good news is
Reese Nichols, the most trusted Missouri brokerage, is now proudly serving St. Louis. They're going to be celebrating with a ribbon cutting and a grand opening at their Chesterfield office on Wednesday, November 5th from 3 to 6. And the afternoon show, the Big 550 KTRS, will be there for the party. Reese Nichols is a Missouri-born company established 125 years ago and is proudly serving St. Louis buyers and St. Louis sellers with everything they need, including title and insurance to make your move seamless. To learn more, ReeseNichols.com.
It's Julie Buck here. I feel like we would all be hard-pressed to find somebody that doesn't have that AAA card in their wallet, because we know when we trust AAA. Well, when it comes to travel, AAA is such a big deal because you get all kinds of discounts. And right now, they're at it again with stunning travel getaways and incredible offers. Book your Maui getaway by October 31st, Halloween, and you will enjoy up to $2,720 just in savings per booking on select vacations. Your 5-night Hawaiian escape could include round-trip airfare, complimentary room upgrade, car rental, and more. And if you book now, you could get up to $1,000 in future AAA travel credit. Book online today at AAA.com/travel. The internet is for looking, but AAA Travel is for booking.
Health insurance can feel complicated, but Medica health plans are different. See, we're nonprofit, which means people first, not shareholders. And we're right here in St. Louis with affordable plans for local care you trust. Your doctors, your hospitals, to help you feel your best. With Medica, your health coverage can feel a bit simpler. And now, we're here for you. Medica Health Plans. You're not just covered, you're cared for.
Mizzou football on the Big 550 KTRS is powered by Royal Banks of Missouri.
Touchdown, Missouri!
Catch all the action right here on the Big 550 KTRS.
Are you looking for a simple, clean, budget-friendly, no surprises, no gimmicks remodel of your bathroom? Michael's Baths is who you call. Right now, when you call Michael's Baths at 636-775-0800, you'll get an estimate that's 30 to 50% less of everybody else, and they'll throw in a free shower door or $500 off a bath remodel. Michael's Baths, for 30-plus years, guaranteed happiness. michaelsbaths.com.
All right. This is the Frank and Jill Show. He is the world traveler, Dr. Rick. I've been to Festus and Branson in the last 7 days. Where have you been?
That's very interesting. We just got back from Korea and Hong Kong, and Korea is crazy. I mean, Korea is like New York on steroids, and we went to the DMZ, the area between North and South Korea, which is just unbelievable. I mean, South Korea booming, bright lights, huge. North Korea dark. They cut down all the trees for firewood, just blighted like you've never seen. So just a very, very interesting contrast.
We were talking about Dr. Peter Atia, and I'm sure you're,
Atia.
And I'm sure you're familiar with his work. And it's interesting because you're a guy that's actually been saying this for a long time about the importance of like weightlifting specifically for older men and older women.
Oh, there's no question. I don't think there's anything more important. So as we get older, you know, the big problem is frailty. We lose our muscle mass, and we get something called sarcopenia, meaning you just get smaller. You know, your weight diminishes, your muscle mass diminishes, and what happens is you then become immobile, etc. So one of the most important things you can possibly do is lift weights to try to diminish that issue. And so Peter's big on that. I actually spent some time with him at South by Southwest last year, and he's huge on not only weightlifting, but mobility as we get older, strength as we get older, and trying to do things that increase your longevity. And, you know, probably the most important thing as we get older is trying not to lose muscle mass.
Yeah, good stuff. Hey, Dr. Rick, this Washington Post headline really caught my eye, and you said there's really something to this. Moldy food linked to serious health issues like cancer and nerve damage.
Well, first of all, you know, I think one of the things that we're doing is we're eating lots of things that are not really very helpful for our longevity and are not really very helpful for our, I don't even want to say health, but you know, as we get older, cancers, nerve damage, et cetera, dementia. So I think we have to be very careful as we eat processed foods and as we eat things that are not very good for us, and the American diet has really gotten into this whole process of eating foods that are not very healthy. Number one, because they're very readily available, right? I mean, there's just millions of easy ways to eat the wrong stuff. So I think we have to try to get back to eating foods that are, number one, not processed, and number two, try to eat foods that are very, I don't want to say basic, but, true foods as opposed to processed foods. And I think that's where we need to be. So moving forward, try not to eat things that have wrappers, that are pre-processed, that have a million ingredients in them that are just not natural.
All right, let's talk body image. This is really interesting. Americans think negatively about their bodies 4 times a day, and a staggering 69% said that when they look in the mirror, the first thing they notice is something they want to fix. Elaborate, please.
Well, this is a problem. So, first of all, I think the media, social media, has made this a huge thing. And I think body looks have always been a big deal, right? We always worry about how we look, do our clothes fit right, et cetera, et cetera. And now they did the study, and what they looked at is they looked at how many times you're looking at yourself and what your response is, and your response is negative, and that's the problem. You don't look at yourself and go, wow, I look great. You look at yourself and you say, I'm too fat, this isn't right, that isn't right, creating a depression and creating kind of an unrealistic realization of what we should look like. So the social media has created this quote-unquote body image, and it's caused people to, A, feel depressed, and B, have unrealistic expectations of what they're going to look like. So they look in the mirror and they say, generally, I have to change this, I have to change that. And the big one is weight loss. So many people, 67% of people, feel that they're too heavy, and they spend an inordinate amount of time trying to lose weight. And basically what ends up happening is they lose weight, gain weight, lose weight, gain weight. So this body image situation is very unhealthy, especially for young people and especially for young women. So again, the big thing is weight loss. The big thing is trying to have a positive body image, not a negative body image. And then really understanding you can't look like all the supermodels and social media that put on fake pictures, and then that's just not reality. So at the end of the day, own your body image, try to be healthy, don't get crazy in terms of weight loss. I mean, that's the biggest thing. And then if you feel like you're heavy and you want to try to gain weight, do the right things, don't do the wrong things. Don't go crazy trying to lose weight and then yo-yo. Just try to eat healthier and over a period of time work out, and quit looking in the mirror because it doesn't change.
So I thought this was super interesting. You sent us AI pilot aims to speed prostate cancer diagnosis. So AI could help diagnose prostate cancer sooner?
Well, first of all, AI is going to change medicine just like it's going to change everything. It's going to change diagnosis, it's going to change speed of making the diagnosis, it's going to change speed of how we change our medicines. Like right now, you go to the doctor and he says, all right, increase your blood pressure medicine this, and over 2 or 3 months, we'll check your blood pressure. Well, that's not what's going to happen. What's going to happen with AI is you're going to change your blood pressure medicine every 2 or 3 days because it's going to give you instant feedback. For prostate cancer, it's just a long, laborious thing. You go, you get your PSA, then you do this and you do that, and over a period of probably 4 to 6 weeks, maybe you get a diagnosis that you have prostate cancer, maybe you get a diagnosis you're okay, but the diagnosis even isn't 100%. With AI, what's going to happen is in one day you're going to get this test, and all the tests are about to change. They're going to be AI driven and AI read. So the radiologist isn't even going to read it. Some machine is going to tell you, hey, with this reading, your chance of having prostate cancer are 61.1% or 4%, or it's going to be very precise. And then you're going to get a biopsy the same day. And within 24 hours, you're going to have an answer. And the answer is either going to be, hey, this is a problem, or B, this is not a problem. And if it's a problem, this is going to be the answer. So we're going to have an immediate response, immediate feedback, not only with the diagnosis, but with the percentages, number one, and number two with the treatment. What do you have to do? Do you have to do nothing? Do you have to have this treatment, that treatment? And the treatments are going to change based on AI telling you what's effective and what's not effective. And this is not going to be just prostate cancer. This is going to be across the board. The interesting thing in UK with the prostate cancer is apparently it takes almost months to get any kind of treatment, and all this is going to happen in 24 hours.
So there is a berry out there that could slow down aging. Explain, please.
Yeah, this is a new one. I never even heard of seed buckhorn. So seed buckhorn is this berry, and this berry has this unbelievable, possibly help with cancer, definitely antioxidants. Every once in a while we get this miracle berry. It used to be blueberries, and then it was acai berries, this berry, that berry, and the seed buckhorn berry, which is in Serbia. Basically, they did research on, and they said, hey, if you eat these berries, what happens? It has antioxidant effect, and it definitely slows down aging. But the other thing is there may be some protective variants in terms of cancers, certain kinds of blood cancer. So again, now I'm on this hell-bent thing to try to find seed buckhorn berries, which hasn't been that easy. I just want to eat some and see what they're like. But at the end of the day, this is kind of going to be, and the reason these things are important is what we do is we take the information and we say, why is this berry helpful? It's not that everyone's going to go find these berries. What we're going to do is we're going to find some kind of supplement or some kind of treatment that maybe has some effect in A, aging, and B, cancer prevention.
Last quick question from our couple listeners asking about how do you feel about Zepbound and Mounjaro, and do you have a recommendation for minimum number of calories you intake if you're on one of these drugs?
So Zepbound and Mounjaro are the multi-drug GLP, GIP, so a step above semaglutide, Ozempic. And I think the research is so clear that they are so much better than the initial. Kind of like anything, it's the next edition. So if you're on Ozempic or you're taking a GLP-1, then semaglutide, and you're having trouble kind of breaking through those barriers, you want to make that step up, and that step up is going to be Zepbound or Mounjaro, which is trizepatide. And I think that probably for females, you want to be at 1,200 calories. For males, about 1,500 calories. You don't want to go. Part of the problem with some of these drugs, and it's good and it's bad, is you can't eat. You're just not hungry. If you eat, you get a little sick to your stomach. And so what happens is you have this huge rapid weight loss. When you go off the drug, then you have weight gain. So you don't want to get too crazy. You want to keep your dosing kind of at a minimum if you can, and then over a period of time, maybe 1,000 calories a day, 1,200 calories a day, and then 1,500 calories a day, lose weight. And then when you go off the drug, number one, you won't just gain all the way back, and number two, your maintenance is going to be much easier. And the thing that everyone has to know out there is if you're on these drugs and you lose 40 pounds, 50 pounds, you have to do maintenance. You cannot just go cold turkey and expect you're going to keep the weight off. So maybe you go on the drug once, 1 week a month, or 1 or 2 days, every 10 or 12 days, but you have to do a maintenance dose. It's going to be a low dose, and that way you'll keep the weight off. And when you see those pounds inching up, you got to go back on it. Now, the other thing, if we have a second, the next drug is going to be triple therapy. It's going to be even that much better, and it's going to be that much easier to lose weight. 24-25% of your body weight you're going to be able to lose. So again, keep tuned here because this is only going to get better.
30 seconds. In continuing what Dr. Peter Attia is advocating, somebody asking on the text line, is there anything safe a person can take to build muscle and strength over age 55?
Yes, Samorlin. So if you really want to, I'm a big fan of getting your testosterone level measured, number one, and seeing what your testosterone is. If your testosterone's under 500 or 600, you should probably be on low-dose testosterone. But the big drug to gain muscle mass is Samorlin. And what Samorlin does is it triggers your pituitary gland to make growth hormone. So everybody out there that really wants to build muscle mass at 55, 60 years old, and you can call the office, is you need to get on a peptide called Samorlin. It's an injectable. You inject it every day. It's no big deal. It's sub-Q. You can't even feel the needle. And that's going to help you build muscle mass, and it's very, very effective. So, again, Samorelin, you can Google it, and that's kind of going to be the ticket. You're going to hear more about some of these peptides because, Peter's big onto these peptides. Tony Robbins, these guys are all big on these peptides, and that's kind of what hits the media.
Good stuff. We'll talk next week. Thank you, sir.
Take care.
All right, that's Dr. Rick.
Something you guys may not think about is the crawl space in your home is driving up heating costs because it pulls cold air in it's called the stack effect. It pulls cold air into your crawl space and will drive up your heating costs like crazy. And that's why you need to have your crawl space insulated. That stack effect works against you because warm air rises, escapes through the top of your home, and cold air outside is pulled through gaps and vents in the bottom, often straight into that crawl space. And the chilly air doesn't stay put. It begins to seep into your floors, your living areas, makes your heating system work harder. And that's going to make you have to pay more every single month. Proper insulation and air sealing is what needs to happen in the crawl space of your home. Woods Basement Systems is the place to go have that done. The crawl space is that one part of our houses that we never, ever want to go. They love going in there because they know what a big difference it can make in your quality of living around your house and how much money you can save on your energy bills every single month. So think about that. If you want to put some more money in your pocket by making a really smart investment that adds value to your home, reach out to Woods Basement Systems today to have them come out and look at your crawl space. 618-228-3368 or woodsbasementsystems.com.
And now, KTRS weather.
I'm First Alert 4 Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton. Sunshine for Thursday, but it's a cooler start, a low of 40 degrees, so a lot of outlying areas and suburbs in the 30s, and then a high of 57, below the normal of 63, so a cool but mostly sunny day. And then Friday for Halloween, a high of 60, mostly sunny skies. Trick-or-treat time will be in the upper 50s, falling to the low 50s, but it will be dry. That's the latest from the First Alert 4 Weather Center. I'm Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton for the Big 550 KTRS.
Is it time to make a change with your bank? Hi, it's Julie Buck for Triad Bank. They are a full-service financial institution with 2 locations, and they've been around since 2005 with a mission to provide a wide range of commercial and personal banking services. Here's their website. It's triadbanking.com.
This is Mariah, 3rd generation at Newsetter's Fine Jewelry. Buying an engagement ring can be intimidating. At Newsetter's, we ensure complete understanding of your purchase. We offer a choice in both lab and mine-grown diamonds and are able to work with any budget. Let our family help educate you on your choice at Big Ben and Doherty Ferry or at wowdiamonds.com.
We sell siding, windows, doors, and decking by the truckload. My name is Julius Krasanik, celebrating 53 years in this business. Our company is Wholesale Siding Depot, and our seasoned customer service group has over 200 years of combined siding, window, door, and decking knowledge. My grandson Elijah says,
"Are you kidding me?"
The brands that we sell are durable, maintenance-free, and energy-saving. Featuring Anderson, CertainTeed, Viwinco, Provia, Masonite, TimberTech, and others. Offering the best selection of styles and colors available in this industry. And better yet, our prices are wholesale every day. Last, our Peace of Mind initiative also includes a free contractor referral service to take care of your installation concerns or needs. You are just one click away from keeping it local, family, and professional. Please visit WSDepot.com. That's WSDepot.com.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hey, it's John Carney. A lot of conversations with the folks over at Allen Roofing, pretty much asking advice, because I know a lot of people got smacked by that storm, and he had some great advice for people to think about. First off, be careful of who you talk to when you're going to get some work done. Make sure there's an agreement and the scope of work is laid out in that contract. Also, as you can imagine, a lot of contractors are busy. Give them some time, and you know what? Allen Roofing will come put a tarp on your roof at no charge, even if you don't use them when you get the roof repaired. Also, check the Better Business Bureau, see what the reviews are for contractors that you deal with, and also remember, insurance companies allow up to an entire year from the date of loss to file a claim. So you've got time to get those repairs done and that replacement done. Don't rush it. Just a few tips from the people that know roofing and repairs better than anyone. It's Allen Roofing, online at aroofing.net.
Okay, all signed up. Easy. Now let's run payroll. What the? Hey girl, I'm you with more gusto. Nice. Who's that? New social media manager, hired and onboarded with gusto. And spoiler, we're kind of famous now. Wait, we're famous? Oh, well, I'm famous. Payroll, benefits, and HR. Designed and built for small businesses. Choose a future with gusto.
All right, welcome back. This is the Frank and Jill Show on the Big 550 KTRS. Hope you enjoyed our visit with Dr. Rick. See if it motivates you to start lifting weights and really moving the body harder than you ever have in the past. I think it's a great goal. It's a great mission.
How you doing over there, Hussein Bolt, after all your sprinting yesterday?
I think I sprinted more last night than I probably have since like college.
That's the most Frank Cusimano reaction to information that I've ever heard, where it was like, hey, start moving your body if you're not moving it. That's going to help you be able to hold on to your health span. So wherever you are and you're like, I'm going to go do 10 sprints and start doing everything. There's like two speeds for you, 0 and 120%.
Well, I've seen you have to run to the car leaving here to get. I feel like that's almost qualifying as a sprint.
Mm-hmm. Well, these were legitimate.
This was real. You got down in the stance and
exactly.
Okay.
Really good text coming up.
Flat.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I was always a terrible runner, and I'm not. I've always been really slow. I luckily played sports that didn't require much speed in the running way, and for sure. So a couple times when I was 40 and my knee was, I had a torn ACL for a million years, and the doctor put his hand on my shoulder and said, I really don't recommend that you run anymore. He said, I know that's hard news probably to hear for somebody like you that likes to, and I was like, no, that's the best news. Can you write that prescription down for the rest of my life? I like exercising. I like doing stuff. I just have never enjoyed running. So
that's why I guess swimming would be the best cardio workout you can get because of the wear and tear, and orthopedically there's just no chance to hurt any bones.
Cycling is pretty good too. I think that's that in terms of lower impact stuff. Good old fashioned walking. Dr. Rick said it many times here, and you read it all over the place. There's something to be said for just getting out there and taking a good walk, and this is darn good weather to do it. Hey, lots more coming up in the show, the second hour right after the news.
Stop feeling embarrassed about thinning hair and start looking and feeling your best with Hair Growth by New Nordic. Available online at Amazon, Walmart.com, and NewNordicUSA.com, or at your local CVS.
John, what are you doing? Get in my car. So why are you walking to work? Thanks, man. It's these insanely high gas prices. They're draining my bank account. I can't afford to drive anymore. Dude, don't walk. Just do what I do, because I never pay full price for gas anymore. I use the free Upside app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. Oh, wait, you're telling me you get paid cash when you buy gas with the Upside app? Yes, I get real cash back every time I buy gas. Does that actually add up to anything? I'll make around $200. Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code PROFIT for an extra 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's promo code PROFIT. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, to PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code PROFIT for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code PROFIT.
Stay connected with the Big 550 KTRS, streaming 24/7 online at KTRS.com or on the KTRS app. Powered by JBL Financial. Stream Straight Talk on Retirement every Saturday morning from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Mizzou football.
The rushing touchdown, and Missouri extends the lead.
KTRS AM, FM 106.1, K291CW St. Louis.
On day 30 of the government shutdown, Senate lawmakers are not scheduled to vote today on a measure to reopen the government. Democrats say they're pushing to extend insurance premium benefits under the Affordable Care Act. Food assistance programs, meantime, like SNAP, are set to run out of funding on Saturday. Here's ABC's Jay O'Brien.
42 million Americans will lose SNAP funding when it runs out, and it comes on the same day Obamacare open enrollment begins, when some 20 million Americans will see their insurance premiums more than double on average. Democrats have said they'd be willing to work with Republicans to reopen the government if Republicans negotiate with them to stop that.
More than 24 Democratic-led states are suing the Trump administration to divert funding for SNAP. President Trump saying the White House may figure out a way to keep food benefits flowing. The president returning from Asia. It follows a critical meeting with China's president in South Korea. Both countries agreeing to dial down the trade tiff. Here's ABC's Rachel Scott.
The president's entire trip here in Asia was building to this high-stakes moment, this face-to-face meeting between President Trump and Chinese President Xi. After months of going tit for tat on trade, the president announcing a one-year truce.
President Trump also announcing he's ordered the Pentagon to resume nuclear testing for the first time in 30 years. He says to keep up with other countries who are conducting their tests. The U.S. military sending a team to Jamaica to assess damage from Melissa after it hit it as a Category 5 storm. Officials say thousands of tourists are stranded or in shelters. ABC's Jacqueline Lee has more on the damage in Jamaica and neighboring islands.
About 25,000 Jamaicans are in shelters and about 25,000 tourists are stuck on the island.
The water level reached me to my waist. I was stuck in my house. They had to break into my home to save me.
In Cuba, about 750,000 people remain in shelters, with officials in Haiti reporting at least 40 deaths so far.
After raking the Bahamas, Hurricane Melissa now pushing towards Bermuda. You're listening to ABC News.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduce stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
51 degrees at 11:03 with KTRS News. I'm Steve Potter. The state of Illinois is appealing a denial of federal funds that would have gone to counties impacted by severe flooding earlier this year. The original request from the state sought federal assistance for the July and August flooding that impacted a number of counties, including 2 just north of the St. Louis metro area, Jersey and Calhoun. The Illinois Emergency Management Agency and Office of Homeland Security have now announced plans to formally appeal the recent denial of a presidential disaster declaration request that was submitted by the governor. The flooding resulted in a widespread area of property damage, prolonged power outages, and significant disruptions to transportation and other essential services. Residents there can report damages through an online survey that was launched this week. The deadline to submit is 1 week from tomorrow. 3 juveniles are in custody in connection with a break-in at a gun store in St. Charles County earlier this week. Police say multiple firearms were stolen from Crown Guns on South Old 94 during the burglary early Tuesday morning. The juvenile suspects were later located in St. Louis County and arrested. Missouri will launch a new work requirement for Missouri recipients of food stamps on November the 1st.
This means able-bodied food stamp recipients will be required to start showing the state they meet new work requirements, which include at least 80 hours of employment or participation in a training program every month. Under the new requirement, individuals will receive 3 months of SNAP food benefits, but the subsidy will end if they do not provide proof of compliance with the work requirements. Now, this comes as SNAP is set to run out of money due to the government shutdown. Jill Enders, KTRS News.
Missouri Attorney General Catherine Hanaway is reacting to the court's decision to temporarily remove St. Louis Sheriff Alfred Montgomery from office until his trial on November 18th. Hanaway has released a statement that a sheriff under federal indictment and sitting in jail cannot lead a law enforcement agency, that the people of St. Louis deserve to have confidence that their law enforcement leadership is worthy of the public trust. And after a quick shift from summer to fall, winter in the Show Me State and the snow, sleet, and ice that come with it could be here before we know it. To help you prepare and stay safe during the shorter days and the coldest weather season, the State Emergency Management Agency and the National Weather Service are partnering to promote Winter Weather Preparedness Week in Missouri, which begins on Monday. This KTRS Business Minute brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist, the place for all your floral needs. Place your order anytime at WKF.com. An abandoned building at 4709 Delmar that was built in 1926 and housed a candy company is set to be renovated and turned into a hub for business offices. The building has been acquired by Sarah Stock and will be the site of her law office, with other leasable spaces for restaurants and retail space. She says it will be a vibrant anchor for the Delmar corridor. And now a look at the markets, brought to you by JBL Financial. Tune into Straight Talk on Retirement Saturday mornings from 9 to 11. The Dow up 209 points at 47,841. NASDAQ down 268 at 23,686. And the S&P 500 down 34 at 6,855. In sports, the Blues take on Vancouver tonight at home. And with numbers recently made available, St. Louis City SC has the 19th highest payroll currently in the MLS. We're looking for sunny skies through the day today, an afternoon high near 59. Mostly cloudy tonight, an overnight low in the low 40s, then sunny tomorrow with a high of 61. At 11:07, we have sunshine, 51 degrees at the Gold Tower at Westport. Steve Potter, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
And now,
Feed me Seymour.
I like to eat.
it's time for the Kuna Food Service Weekly Special.
Yum, 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 yum.
Right here on KTRS, the talk of St. Louis.
And welcome back. This is one of our favorite segments of the week. It's the Weekly Special, brought to you by our good friends at Kuna. The name of the restaurant is My Place. The restaurateur is Sonny Bahala. He joins us in studio. It's a new restaurant in Shrewsbury. And question one for you, Sonny, is how does a guy who has built gas stations into technology, built beauty salons, a builder of many products, end up in the restaurant business for the first time?
Yeah, so I have zero experience in a restaurant. We were going to put a gas stations in a Shrewsbury back in 2020, 2021. The community says they don't need the gas station, but they need a restaurant. Since I did not have any experience, so I went around the world and talked to a few people and built this My Place. So this My Place has a food around from the world. We have staff from different countries, and we brought technology from around the world. And in the future, we will be bringing the entertainment together. So I put technology, food, entertainment together for customers to experience. And this is about 10 and 11,000 square feet, close to 300 plus dining seats and all that. So I want people to have a social experience, but also enjoy the sports there as well.
You went in big with a big swing. You didn't just say, I'm just going to open a little corner place. People can get it to go. And one of the most fun things, I think, is the huge variety on your menu. Mediterranean, Indian food, American food. That's got to be fun to see it all.
Yes.
And we've gotten to sample some of it, by the way. It's all delicious.
Thank you. Yes. And then also we added a cafe in here also. A lot of time people open a bar, restaurant, with the lunch and dinner, but we wanted to serve in the morning time too also. So we, in a near future, few weeks, we will be opening the cafe side with the continental breakfast, and then later on probably add the hot breakfast food also.
Okay, so you've utilized your great technology background with this restaurant, and I think this is going to be the hook. This is going to be the reason why people listening to this program will go to Shrewsbury and go to My Place. Mm-hmm. You have this large computerized bar where the bartenders push a button. You explain this to our listening audience.
Sure. So when you come in, let me put the thought behind it, why I put it this way. Usually you go in a restaurant, it takes 15, 20 minutes before you get your drink. Hostess give you seat, server comes, takes your order, they punch in the POS system, goes to the bartender makes and bring the drinks. By the time it's 15, 20 minutes. So our thought was behind it, when customer comes in, what can I make them available right away? So what we did, we put this beer wall, which is 52 taps. So as soon as you come, you check in with your ID and a credit card. The tab is open. We give you RF card. You can use that card, go to the beer wall, and self-pour the beer.
Oh, my God.
So beer is only self-pour, and rest of the restaurant is full service. But then also we brought the technology on the bar side. It also, if anybody order a old-fashioned on Manhattan, it comes to this computer, and you don't need to be a bartender as long as you can read the screen right. You press old-fashioned, it makes for you. Then it manually tells you that how to garnish, and then person garnish with orange or with the cherry, or also it tells you also that manually add a mixture, either 10 ml or 40 or 50, depends on the drink, and so it makes for you. And on top of that, also on the cafe side, we also have this machine that makes the mocha, latte, ice latte, all those. So you don't need to know how to make it with the hand, but the machine and a computer makes it for you.
So no super skilled baristas or bartenders needed, but perfection. It's like chemistry. It's going to come out perfect every time.
Yes.
I think that's very brave to let people serve their own beer.
Yes. And
you trust people to just be honest about that beer pouring system?
Yes. So it has the technology built in. It will give you 32 ounce in 2 hours. You can consume that in your first hour or in 2 hours, and it cuts you off. You cannot pour more. If you need more, you see your server or a floor person in charge, and then we look at you that do you need to eat more food or appetizer? Are you okay to consume more? So as a human being, we just make our best judgment, or we open it after 15, 20 minutes or 30 minutes that they can get more beer and all that. So we have put that safety things in place also.
Tell me about the visual thing. So you have NFL games on or an ocean scene with large sharks swimming. How does this work?
So I built a video wall which is 64 feet wide and almost 9 feet high, and it's tied together with 4 projectors. This technology, I brought it from abroad. First time I saw at Japan airport, and then I went to China and worked with those people for a couple of years. And we can project any kind of video, ocean, sea, shark, space, any scenic view. We can put all of China, anything like Arizona's, mountains. So we can make those videos and project those. So it needs to format in a right way to fit the wall, which we work with the developers in China. And they make it, they send it to me, and I project it. And also,
You did this yourself?
No, I worked with them.
Yeah.
So they had the projection mapping, but I worked with them to open a window within that video wall. That video wall can, if you have a laptop, you can give your presentation. I can project that, or I can switch to a TV signal to play the sports game like NFL, basketball, and it will show that. And that is people hasn't seen it. I just did the soft opening last Thursday, so it's just a week from today. And they love that video wall. They enjoy it. They sit down and it's relaxing. Sometimes it's ocean views. Sometimes it's a sea view. Sometimes it's, sky. So all different. I welcome everybody to come and check it, and we will be adding more videos. So right now I have 30 plus videos that changes. I will be adding maybe 30, 40 more videos.
Wow.
I can tell you right now that this is like nothing else we've seen in St. Louis up to this point. If you're just joining us, Sunny Bahala, new restaurant just opened over in Kenrick Plaza in Shrewsbury called My Place, and just a real combination of interesting food combinations from all around the world, entertainment options that we haven't seen in St. Louis before, your own self-pour beer wall with, did you say 50?
52 taps.
52 different taps.
52 different taps.
Computerized cocktails poured
yes.
for you. It sounds like something that really very interesting. And in addition to enjoying delicious food, you wanted the whole thing to be very immersive and a big experience for people. Is that right?
That is correct. Yes, that is correct.
All right. So you are a customer of Kuno, which sponsors this segment. I bet they've been a great help, especially for a young restaurant like yours.
Yes, no, they've been great help. We've been working with them for over a year. We have gone to their facility. Some of the items that we have in a menu, we have tested in their kitchen. They have helped me build the menu also as well. And then also the close customer local support that I get from them. It's been really, really great.
All right, so now you got to tell our audience, since you serve Mediterranean, Indian, American, you have to pick one entree, one Mediterranean entree, one Indian entree, and one American entree, your favorite, like if you're going to have a meal.
So right now, the best American ones, we have Korean barbecue wings, which is really great.
Did you say Korean barbecue?
Yeah, Korean barbecue,
yum.
And then also mango habanero. Those are the two favorite mine in the menu. Besides that, also margarita pizza is doing great too. In the Mediterranean, we have a mixed grill. It's beef and chicken kebab with rice and pita. And then on the Indian, we have many items, but right now we just introduced the paneer tikka masala. And that is favorites been for the customers too. And we serve that with rice and naan. And then also we got the snack as a samosa. And we will be introducing it more. But for the Indian also, we have a lot of desserts. They are really, really good, which customers liking it, like ras malai, kaju katli, sandesh. I know people not familiar with some of the names, but some do. But if they try it, let me tell you, they will get hooked to it.
Do people try to discourage you? Because I hear, your career has been extremely successful. And as my dad used to say, Stan Musial once said, if you want to know how to make a small fortune in the restaurant business, the answer is you start with a large fortune. So why, did people discourage you from this idea?
No, people did not discourage me, but then they were like surprised that, I have technology background, building gas stations for 32 years in California and different ventures, but why restaurant? They said restaurant is the most hardest business to do, but it's my passion because I love technology. So I just says that, okay, I'm going to bring technology into it and then build that way and then show the people this is more enjoyable and all that. But they didn't discourage, but they were surprised, why I'm doing my experience totally different. But anything in my life, I have done it. I put my 200% to it. I do my research. I go around the world. I talk to people and then just use my past experience and common sense to put this together.
I love that. 200% past experience. Common sense to put it together. And so far, everything you've done has worked well. So we have every reason to believe that my place will do that as well. From our Royal Banks of Missouri text line, I love this concept. I do too. I mean, just the way you're describing it. I know you guys have only been open for a week.
7 days, yeah.
Yeah, but I really think people in St. Louis are going to love to try this out.
Anybody who visited us, they really loved it. When they enter inside, the first word come from their mouth is wow when they see the video wall.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it. Can you help me? I'm trying to buy a TV for my bedroom. Would you mind setting it all up like this? I'd like a big one like this. Can you do that for me, please?
I'm sorry. Like the big video wall, you mean?
Yeah, I want a big video wall.
Then I think we need to help you buy a big projector. Okay. So those projectors, they are commercial grade, and they are 4 projectors tied together. And then once you project the 4 projector on the wall, you make a grid, and then grid has to match with like millimeter to the point. And before you put the videos there. And then videos needs to be format to your wall and before you can project them and all that.
Well, it's great to see you. The name of the restaurant is My Place, and the location is Shrewsbury, Sunny Bahala. Thank you so much for coming in. We wish you nothing but success. You'll be open full goes right now, correct?
Yes. So we open 11 in the morning and then close at 10 p.m., but soon we will be open the cafe side, so we might start opening either 8 or 9 o'clock. A lot of people have showed interest for the cafe, and within 1 or 2 weeks. So we are at 7401 Watson Road, Shrewsbury, next to Walmart, and then Aldi Center is Lower Kendrick Plaza.
Thank you, Sonny. We appreciate it.
Jeff Zufall, our friend at the station, does a show, of course, every single week. Keep What's Yours with Josh Gilbert here on Saturday. So many of you guys make that appointment radio because you know you're going to learn something every single week. And it's just a real gift that Jeff has of being able to take complicated things when it comes to your finances and make them a lot simpler for average folks, even like me, to understand what the choice is. And he talks basics, but he also can get into some of the more complicated stuff, but help you understand it better as well. If you have had somebody who maybe helped you with your money back in the day and gave you a plan, or you just were using whatever your workplace had set up for you in terms of 401k or pension plans and didn't really think strategically about it, that's where Jeff's strengths really come in. And the other side of his strengths, of course, is being a senior tax strategist. He's a tax expert, so he can take a look at your taxes. So many of his customers, a majority of them, as a matter of fact, come in and he discovers that they have been overpaying on their taxes, which means money that could have been making money in the stock or bond market has been instead paid off to the government, and it wasn't actually owed. So that's one of the ways that he helps people come out much further ahead than they thought they were going to be in retirement, because he has that two-pronged approach to your investing strategy. Jeff Zufall, Capital Advisory, his team, 636-394-5524, capitaladvisorygrp.com.
St. Louis is home to more than 80,000 University of Missouri, St. Louis alumni, where they drive the region's economy and contribute to its social and cultural well-being. At UMSOL, more is what moves us. Find your more at more.umsl.edu.
I'm Mark Miller, owner of Miller Furniture and Mattress, your home for quality American-made furniture since 1927. We offer the largest selection of Amish-made furniture in the St. Louis area, plus quality living room furniture from Flex Steel and Smith Brothers. We carry top-quality mattresses from world-famous brands like Tempur-Pedic, Stearns & Foster, and Chatham & Wells. Shop our Belleville, Fairview Heights, Lake St. Louis, and Ellisville showrooms. At Miller Furniture, we put the family in furniture.
Kick off football season like a pro with the world's largest sports book at your fingertips. Circa Sports Illinois. It's sports betting the way it should be. With high app limits, low holds, exceptional customer service, and no bet fees ever. Other books may charge you just to get on the field, but with Circa Sports, every play is yours to call. Start betting like a pro from anywhere, anytime in Illinois. Download your new bookie today at circasports.com.
Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
At Maryville University, we power dreams, not just degrees. For nearly 150 years, we've empowered graduates to build successful careers. At Maryville, expect a rigorous, technology-driven, mentor-inspired education in a diverse and inclusive learning environment. We help you take it to the next level, no matter what field you choose. Now is the time to turn your ambition into action and transform your dream into reality. Start your journey at maryville.edu.
Most people think if I name my husband as beneficiary, everything's going to be okay, and that's not necessarily true.
I'm Scott Garcia with Premier Estate and Income Planning.
What am I doing taking care of people after somebody has passed and all the mess that comes with that?
And I'm Jennifer Cermak, Chief Counsel and Estate Planning Attorney of Premier Estate and Income Planning.
No longer is the attorney the gatekeeper to your lives.
Let us show you how to protect your assets, avoid probate, and retire with confidence.
Having an estate plan could be the most important document you could ever have.
The Premier Income and Estate Planning Show, this Saturday at 4 and this Sunday morning at 7 on the Big 550 KTRS.
Carney, Buck.
Thursday on the John Carney Show, we'll talk to the podcasters behind Peacemaker, the local true crime story. We'll talk to the festival director of the St. Louis International Film Festival. We'll talk sports with Brendan Weesey, and Randy Naughton sits in with Julie Buck. It all starts at noon.
John Carney, Julie Buck, weekdays at noon on KTRS. The talk of St. Louis.
Schrader Funeral Homes and Crematory, St. Louis's oldest family-owned funeral home, offering complete funeral, burial, and cremation services, including an on-site reception center and crematory. 150 years of serving St. Louis families. Visit them at Schrader.com.
Reese Nichols, the most trusted Missouri brokerage, is now proudly serving St. Louis. They're going to be celebrating with a ribbon cutting and a grand opening at their Chesterfield office on Wednesday, November 5th from 3 to 6. And the afternoon show, the Big 550 KTRS, will be be there for the party. Reese Nichols is a Missouri-born company established 125 years ago and is proudly serving St. Louis buyers and St. Louis sellers with everything they need, including title and insurance to make your move seamless. To learn more, ReeseNichols.com.
And now, KTRS weather.
I'm First Alert 4 Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton. Sunshine for Thursday, but it's a cooler start. A low of 40 degrees, so a lot of outlying areas and suburbs in the 30s. And then a high of 57, below the normal of 63. So a cool but mostly sunny day. And then Friday for Halloween, a high of 60, mostly sunny skies. Trick-or-treat time will be in the upper 50s, falling to the low 50s, but it will be dry. That's the latest from the First Alert 4 Weather Center. I'm Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton for the Big 550 KTRS.
The Bommarito Automotive Group is Missouri's #1 automotive group. They've sold over 1 million vehicles by giving you a better price, a better selection, and more for your trade. You can shop them online and see their entire inventory at bommarito.com.
Want a song?
Surround my mind like the song on the radio.
Want a quote? It's the song and quote of the day on the Frank and Jill Show. Right here on the Big 550 KTRS.
Welcome back, everybody. 11:26, second hour of the Frank and Jill Show. Jill Farmer, Frank Cusimano, and Connor McCarthy here. Excuse us while we finish chewing some pretty darn good food over here from my place.
It really is. That hummus is outstanding. That's the official breakfast, lunch, and dinner of our friend Tara Khan, too.
Isn't that cool, the whole idea of just blending? When you first said earlier, you said Mediterranean and Indian food, and I was like, really? That's not usually a mix you see, but that and American food, very cool.
Real quickly, a quick food thought is our friend Josh Schertz, the head coach at St. Louis University, he was at practice yesterday, and he said his wife really wanted to go to Paul Mano's for her birthday last night. And they went, I gave him like about 4 or 5 things to order, and he just said it was just unbelievable. So,
no surprise. Have you ever sent anybody there and they said, hey, Frank, that didn't work out?
Yeah, that was no good, yeah. So, and then Paul was very nice. True story is I put Paul on a speakerphone while I was with Josh. And I said, I'm with Josh Schertz. He said, they can't get in. Can you give him? And says, oh, yeah, we'll take care of it. We'll give you 4. And then I realized that was really a blank move by me because Josh Schertz was listening and Paul Mano was on there. What if he were to say, no, I can't get him in there? So I really put Paul on the spot.
Yeah, right.
So I apologized to Paul afterwards. No, I appreciate the business. And everything went well. But
so it's like when our kids were little and they'd ask us for something in front of their friend. Hey, can they come over and spend the night? Or can we do this? And then you have to kind of be the bad guy in front of the other person. Yeah. You're like, don't, ask us that privately behind the scenes. You put him in that spot. But it sounds like all's well that ends well for sure on that. I always say, like I'm doing presentations on time and stress management, as I often do, that time is fixed, right? It's not variable. We all have the same 24 hours in the day. But do you feel like October really went by faster than any other month that we've had in a long time?
So November 1st is Sunday? That
yes.
is crazy.
No, Saturday. Because tomorrow's Halloween. Why is that? Do you think it's because the weather was hot into October, so it kind of felt strange because it was like summer, and then I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out because I still can't quite get over the fact. We
just lost October.
We just lost October.
Yeah, and didn't feel October until like the last couple of days.
Yeah, I think maybe it was because I was traveling every weekend. And by the way, you guys are very sweet. Many of you have been checking in with texts asking how my folks are doing, and they're hanging in there. As I've shared before, Mom is in hospice and has the most incredible and courageous and beautiful attitude you've ever seen in your life. And Dad is trying to get better from this major heart challenges that he has as well. So they've had some bumps. It's been some turbulence in the journey, in the ride, but they also have done a really good job of accepting where they are and trying to make the most of every day. And I appreciate that about them a lot. And thanks you guys for checking in on the text line.
It's good to hear.
That's for sure. Somebody saying, Frank, I think you could actually move your bed into this restaurant with that video wall there. It sounds like you'd really enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm getting some texts from some friends. I'm thinking video wall for your bedroom. I'm sure you can clear it with Monique. I'm into this. This is good.
Yeah. I really cannot wait to see what happens. What I think is going to happen, here's my prediction. You're going to go and come home with the most giant TV ever, and she's going to say no, and then you're just going to take it back.
Yeah, but there really is no defense when I simply say we don't entertain in our bedroom. So it's not like your little friends are going to notice and look down on you because you have a freaking 83-inch screen in your bedroom.
Well, I'm sure that she's not doing it because of what other people say. She's doing it because that's her space, and she wants some say in what the vibe of her space is.
Okay?
Right, but can't you compromise on something like? It doesn't have to be 120 inches. Can it be like 60 inches?
So you split the walls up. You just hang it on one of the walls that it's Frank's. So Frank gets the big TV,
she can
and
have
she
the
can get
wall
the
with
other
the
two
plates.
walls. Yeah.
You got these?
One of the
I'll take
walls
this
with the
wall.
plates, and Frank gets the wall with the TV.
I think the texters would support me on this.
I'm
84126. Do I deserve an 80-inch TV screen in my bedroom?
Listen, and in all fairness, if
Wonder
you're
if I can
starting
write
to
it off too, because I'm watching sports.
you cannot. Do you know what though? I'm not going to say it was, but somebody I worked with got audited in TV years ago, and I remember asking my tax guy, yeah, they said that all the stuff we use for TV, like all of our clothes and hairspray and everything, you can write off. And they were like, and my tax person that helps me out, Charlie, was like, absolutely not. No way. That is not. Only if it's exclusively used for that. They had all these stories about Vegas performers that would make dresses that you couldn't sit down on. That was the only way they could write off the dresses to show they were only used for performance. Do you have any inside knowledge on that?
No.
You'd think some clothes, though, right? No?
If you
It's
can
like you've
use the
gotta-
clothes for something other than the work-related purpose, you cannot write it off for work.
That seems a lot more stringent than I've heard a lot of other industries writing things off, though. So, other industries are writing off things left and right, it seems like.
I think we may write off the newspaper, sports section. I'm not sure what we can. But Monique has just weighed in on it. We have other bedrooms for me, just saying.
I'm of course completely on Team Monique on this, 1,000%.
I got to tell you, the text lines are with me here.
Okay, but you
The
have to
people
go
have spoken,
back.
Monique.
No, now earlier on in the show, they were kind to you, but they were like, Frank, tread lightly here. Think about what you really are doing.
I'm getting a lot of yeses.
This person says they have a 90-inch TV. You gotta go big, Frank.
Okay,
Yep.
It's,
a lot.
hey, Monique, we have a gorgeous, gorgeous guest bedroom in our house. You are welcome to come hang out anytime you want.
At least 80-inch. You may be sleeping alone, but what the heck? Have any kind of television in your bedroom is not a good idea for good sleep. Okay.
True.
Yeah, if you fall asleep with it on, right? It's
Yeah.
supposed to be like the light is supposed to be bad.
I agree with that 100%.
Yes,
You
yes,
cannot
yes. Oh my goodness, the people have spoken, Monique. You are
it's
shut down.
Not true. And also, who have you been texting for the last 3 minutes? You've done that thing where you text like 10 people and say, text into the text line right now and say yes.
I have not done any of that. You can look at my phone. I've never done that.
I'm just teasing you. Yeah, any kind of television in your bedroom, not a good idea for sleep. That's the one that I think stands out the most in these. Would you agree?
This one says eventually she'll realize how right you are, which I got to check the number on this. This might be from Frank.
Yeah. No. Well, wait a minute. Actually, I even told her, I said, aren't you the one we were arguing today? Aren't you the one who said Reggie would be a bad idea? Aren't you the one who said that the hot tub outside would be a bad idea? It's everything we've done,
Those are the two main good
Here
ones.
we are.
Yeah.
You're having you're
30 plus
winning an
years.
argument against somebody who isn't here to actually give any of the other perspectives, which I know would be brilliantly stated as well. And we're supposed to be sharing the song of the day, which we started talking about the fact October has gone by very quickly. So that's why we picked this classic by your very favorite singer of all time, Frank, Barry Manilow.
Oh.
That, of course, is When October Goes by Barry Manilow. Fortunately, we don't have snow flying here in St. Louis too often. But, when I was a little kid in Canada on those first trick-or-treat years and in Iowa, we definitely had some years where we had our winter coats on and were dressed as ghosts, which was just a sheet thrown over our winter stuff because it was a little too cold for trick-or-treating.
Somebody said that's my favorite Barry Manilow song. It's beautifully perfect autumn song, Liz. Now, I'm not denying that is the perfectly timed song for this day as we end October, but I certainly would not even put that in his top 10.
Well, it's not. I would say
no,
that's
it's perfect
fair
for today.
Yeah, but I would say it's not his top 10 of songs we know. But it's a beautiful. I mean, and it really kind of shows his voice, which I think he's a great songwriter. But I think it shows his voice.
But like, looks like we made it. Trying to get the feeling again.
Yep.
Mandy. Weekend in New England. I guess I'm losing my man card as I roll these.
But
songs
we
up.
all those songs. We all know the lyrics to all those songs.
Monique did take me to a Barry Manilow concert once.
Really? Yeah. And how come you say Monique took me as opposed to Monique and I enjoyed going to a Barry Manilow concert once? You make it sound like she put a collar around your neck and towed you.
Yeah. In fact, Mike Claiborne had heard that I had gone, so he texted the producer at KFNS to open up the program with Mandy. What the hell? And there was Claiborne saying, "Gotcha," because he had heard I was there.
And did you like it?
It was. Look, he's a great performer.
You say that too when you say like, "Oh, Monique took me to see Waitress on Broadway," and I said, "What do you think?" "Oh, I loved it." So why not? I went to go see that incredible musical, and I really liked it.
He's got to pass responsibility off.
I got no response, but I tell you, afterwards, I just wanted to watch football and lift weights and have beer. But I don't know. But no, there's no denying the guy is tremendous at what he's done.
So has pretty much everybody you've talked to been able to go see Soul on Fire now that it's been out for a few weeks?
A lot of people have, and I don't know anybody who's seen it that doesn't really, really like it. Today, this is the fourth week.
That sounds right. It was October 10th, I think, so this would be maybe the third or fourth weekend for sure. Have you heard any of the latest from your inside knowledge on how
right now? What's the latest
on how the ticket sales are going? There has certainly been a lot of community-driven effort to get people to go out and take the movie, which I think is great. I really enjoyed this conversation that I saw on YouTube that John O'Leary did with John Corbett, of course, who is the actor who played his father in the show. And for those of you who are like, who is that John Corbett? You remember him from...
he's the best.
Yeah, from...
My Big Fat Greek Wedding? No.
My Big Fat Greek Wedding was... He's from Northern Exposure is where I think I first saw him. And, of course, he was the actor in... he's in Sex and the City and then in the remake of Sex and the City, and otherwise known as Bo Derek's longtime partner as well. And he had a really emotional conversation with John O'Leary about playing this role and why he loved the script. And he goes on to have to take a break because he gets really emotional, and he's a father himself. And John Corbett said, knowing, and he talked a lot to John's parents about this on set. How do you watch your child physically suffer that much and be in that much physical pain without, almost wanting them to even not be here to be out of that pain? And they said that was definitely the hardest part, that you just wish you could trade places with them the whole time.
Okay, so it's in 19th place. 6.5 million right now as we speak.
Oh, great.
They need to exceed 7 million because 7 million covers the initial cost. It's still in theaters as we speak, and I do know that it's done quite well at Creve Coeur.
Wow, that's great. Do you know, I know nothing about the movie business. We need one of our many movie experts around here, including Max, to tell us how this works. But is it still revenue producing when it starts to stream? Are they still making money? Because this to me is a movie, once it leaves theaters and it gets to streaming, that it's going to just blow up like some movies do too, because so many people are going to want to watch it as a family at home and find out about it that way.
Yeah, well, I think the way I understand it from talking to one of the investors is that if Netflix buys it, you get that up front. And if the Angel Network buys it, you get that upfront money.
But you don't get like every time it plays kind of thing. It's more. They're betting on, it's kind of like the publishers give you an advance on a book, but they're betting on how many are going to sell, but you still get a small percentage of each book that's sold. But generally, it's that advance is where the real money comes from.
Yes, and what the investors are telling me, or one of them is Jeff Drew, I should say his name, hopefully headed to Netflix as we speak, and maybe Netflix has a number too that you got to do this well at the box office, or maybe they just look at the movie and think, yeah, this could play well.
I mean, how many movies have you and I watched in the last year that we've talked about that we never even heard of before they went to the movie theater, because we're not used to paying attention to movies in theaters in the same way we were 20 or 30 years ago, but it comes up on your Netflix feed and you're like, gosh, that looks good. I can see a lot of people really liking that movie for sure. Quick John Corbett story. We were on a bike ride, a group bike ride in Santa Barbara a few years ago, and these older gentlemen who were incredible bike guides, great shape, they take us by and they make us stop, and we're kind of in the middle of nowhere, it looks like. And they're like, we just wanted to stop here because that, my friends, is the amazing Bo Derek's ranch right here behind us. And all of the guys in our group and the two leaders who are of a certain age were like, wow, remember? And they started reminiscing. And I was like, and I kind of been looking, straining my neck like everybody else was like, Jill, what are you doing? I said, I'm trying to see John Corbett because I'd like to see him out working on the ranch since those two are together. That's the person that I would be interested in seeing.
And John, how long have they been together?
I don't know. You'll have to Google it.
Because she was married to John Derek for
a
long time, kind of an elderly.
This says 2020.
Oh, so just recently. Yeah,
that's what this says.
It seems like they've been together longer than that. But
maybe that's when they got married.
Okay, yeah, because I think they've been together for a while. I think John Derek was a lot older than her, and I think John Corbett's quite a bit younger than her, if I have that right, but I'll have to look that up.
Derek is now 68.
He's 64, so it's not that.
Oh, so it's not May, December.
It's not a big gap.
There was a famous story, because, Connor, you're old enough to remember 10, or you've heard all about the movie 10?
I'm not old enough to remember 10, no, but I am familiar generally with the story.
Yeah. And why she's called
because
the 10.
She's in the movie.
Okay, so there's a famous story about at an AAU basketball tournament, and there's this coach. You know how some of these coaches, Jill, are so myopic, the only thing in their lives are basketball, basketball, basketball. And so they're all watching these players play, and this coach from Michigan, Bill Frieder, hears another coach say to another coach, well, this kid's really good, but Bobby Jones from Louisville, he's a 10. He said this. He goes, yeah, really good, but, Bo Derek was a 10. This kid's just an 8. And he just says it like that. And so the head coach goes to his assistant coach. He says, find out who this Bo Derek is. I hear he's a 10. He had no idea.
Well, I mean, if you weren't around in the 70s or early 80s, that makes...
Could you not be?
Everybody
remembers that walk on the beach.
Oh, yeah.
What's more
famous?
famous?
I think they remember the run on the beach even more.
Or Halle Berry in the orange swimsuit in the James Bond.
Or
Phoebe Cates in Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Can you tell me anything else about the movie 10 besides?
These things are just rolling off too quickly.
Don't make me choose between those three, Frank. That's so hard for me, for sure. I'll tell you who we want to choose right now, and that's our friend Ryan Raphael, the Medicare man. He is the guy to talk to not only this time of year, but especially this time of year. We're in open enrollment time, which is I wouldn't even say it's like an accountant in tax season. It's even crazier for Ryan right now because it all funnels in to so many people who are beginning their Medicare journey or need to make a change on their Medicare or on their journey, and they don't know the difference between a supplement or an advantage plan like the rest of us do. What the heck is Part D anyway? All those questions, overwhelming, people trying to sell you stuff, and they may not have your best interest at heart, and that's why you go to Ryan. His advice, by the way, completely free to you. Under the law, the insurance companies pay his fees. He is paid by them, so all he does is help you find the very best plan for you. For the right plan, call the Medicare Man, Ryan Raphael, 314-368-6808 or MedicareManSTL.com.
Every January, the gyms are full and the resolutions are big. But by February, most people have already given up. That's why Premier U helps people flip the script. Don't wait for January. Fall is the perfect time to start a weight loss journey. Premier U's personalized programs use today's most effective weight loss medications paired with expert support. Why wait to start fresh? Call Premier U today or visit PremierUMed.com to get started. Your future self will thank you.
Some of my fondest memories as a kid is heading down to the hardware store. You had to pick up a couple of nails, a couple of screws, maybe a gallon of paint, whatever it may be, right? It was your friendly neighborhood hardware store. Well, those don't exist anymore in St. Louis, except for Schnarr's Hardware. They have 2 locations in Webster Groves and in Clayton Road in Ladue. Schnarr's Hardware is that place where you go in and you can get that bucket of paint, you can get a couple screws. The advice is always free. And the one thing about Schnarr's Hardware that every single family hardware store used to have, and that is the smell. It smells like a hardware store. It's got the selection. I don't know how they do it. It's a small store, but they got everything you ever need. They got the paint. They got paint matching. They've got big green eggs. They've got screws and nails and everything a hardware store should have. Schnarr's Hardware, 2 locations, 1 great hardware store. Schnarr's Hardware, we'll see you there.
Hey, it's Heidi, and you've been hearing me talking about my friends at Dalco Home Remodeling. They're locally owned and family operated and have been installing the very best windows and doors in town for the past 50 years. Well, right now is the absolute best time to save on windows at Dalco. For a very limited time, you can earn a $600 tax credit on new windows, plus up to an additional $600 from Dalco on Elite Series windows with 0% financing for 18 months. That's up to $1,200 in credits for new energy-efficient windows from Dalco. This limited-time offer ends November 15th, so don't wait. Give them a call today at 314-298-7300 to get up to $1,200 in credits for new energy-efficient windows from Dalco. That's 314-298-7300 or online at DalcoHomeRemodeling.com. As they've always said, if you buy somewhere else and find out how much you could have saved at Dalco, you'll blow your stack. 314-298-7300.
You've heard so many people talk about Innsbrook. Now it's time to see for yourself. 7,500 acres, 100-plus lakes, on-site restaurants, an 18-hole championship golf course for you to go play by yourself with some friends, or maybe even a charity event, nature trails, event spaces, and so much more. Innsbrook is 45 minutes from St. Louis. It's so close, and yet you feel so far away. Go see Innsbrook for yourself. Innsbrook-resort.com.
If you're looking for your next home, think of First Community. Our Smart Choice Home Loan offers a 30-year fixed rate of just 6.531% APR to qualified borrowers, and you only need a down payment of 10%. Whether it's your first home, your forever home, or even a vacation home, be smart with a Smart Choice loan from First Community for all your savings and all your loans. Must qualify for membership. For terms and conditions, call toll-free 1-888-642-7969. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing lender.
St. Louis is home to more than 80,000 University of Missouri St. Louis alumni, where they drive the region's economy and contribute to its social and cultural well-being. And also more is what moves us. Find your more and build more connections at more.umsl.edu.
Oh, gosh. Monique reminded me it was actually 2 Barry Manilow concerts, so...
So you took her.
You're just a fan.
You took her to one, and then she took you to one. I think is how we can.
Both.
I don't believe you.
David Cassidy and probably Rick Springfield. I don't even know. I will be at Costco tonight. If anybody would like to say hi in the 650 range, maybe if you have a big truck, you can help me load that big 83-inch TV into the car. I'd appreciate that. The people have spoken on the text line. I am a man of the people, and I will do what they say.
Will it fit in your car?
I have a smaller sport utility. So
with the box, sometimes it... Yeah. I ran into that problem once. I bought a TV, and we brought it out because I measured the back of my car, and I was like, well, that's 50... It was like 55 inches, and I was buying a 50-inch. I was like, it'll fit. It's 5 inches of space. Forgot to consider the box. It did not fit in the back seat. And I had to wait for someone else to come with a bigger car.
So Joe, maybe that's God's way of saying that I shouldn't get the car because it won't fit in the TV. I shouldn't get the TV because it won't fit the car.
That's my way of saying it. If and from the 314, very tactful person, Monique thinks about it more. It might be better for her if you get the TV. That way you won't try to, quote, bother her.
That's a well-played text. Brilliant.
And many, many other people. Yeah, I mean, we talked about this off the air briefly. It's very triggering. We had a group of people over one point, and I was saying, We have kind of an old TV up in our living room, and I said I want to get kind of a smaller frame TV so it doesn't just the first thing when you walk in there's a TV, and every single guy that was at that gathering was like, "What are you talking about? Smaller? Why would you ever want a smaller TV?" It's very triggering for people, shall we say?
And then Monique is also saying a lamp would be in the way. Well, then move the freaking lamp. That's what I got to say. All right.
Again, Mr. Tough Guy when she's not actually here to be part of the conversation here. So we know. So I love this one. Fire movie has been a profound blessing. Soul on Fire, I think, referring to profound blessing not only to moviegoers, but to our family as well.
Here's a thought. Per Howard Richards, my good friend, Costco delivers. There we go.
Howard,
Just have it show up one day while you're at work, and then she can deal with it.
Howard's the best, but he's definitely on Team Big TV here. He's got your back on this for sure, Frank, 100%.
All right, there's a good one about John O'Leary. You want to read that? Let's see.
You read it because I was flipping through.
Let's see.
Oh, John O'Leary wrote this on Facebook. Sorry, sometimes you guys, when new text come in, it moves it, so we can't see it. As one of the top 100 grossing films of 2025, still trending as the #1 ranked film on Rotten Tomatoes. That's cool. Frank, how about this advice? I have an 80-inch TV. Don't cheap out on the sound system. Good news, Monique. You get to spend a lot more money on a fancy sound system to go with it. I have the Clip Surround. Watching an NFL game, I can hear people in the stands cussing. Well, that sounds super necessary.
That is so good. Yeah, that's good.
Frank, why don't you get your biggest TV to be an outdoor one and hang it so it can be seen from the hot tub and put a smaller one in for Monique?
Well, that's a thought, but it's not one I'm going to go with.
A TV exteriors. We're talking about how Frank's going to spend a whole lot of money today at Costco. Here's a way you can save a whole lot of money, and that is by using TB Exteriors to do that full roof replacement. $500 gets you. All you have to do is mention KTRS, and you can get $500 off a full roof replacement. They serve everybody. If you're listening to us here in Missouri, you can be served by TB Exteriors. They can handle any kind of insurance claim you have, but they're also really well known for helping you to find a beautiful roof that's going to add value to your home, because it's one of the first things people look at. If you ask any real estate agent, they'll tell you a new roof is going to help your house sell more quickly and for top dollar. It's worth it. And if you're living in your house for any length of time, you want to make sure when you replace it that you have something that's better than what you have, certainteed above the rest when it comes to quality, and the highest level of warranties for certainteed shingles comes from TB Exteriors because they train their employees to be the best in the business. Call them today, 636-362-9503 or tbexteriorsmo.com.
Our good friend, Mr. Soccer, Bill McDermott, texting in. He had the rigatoni with red sauce with shrimp and cauliflower last night at Trattoria Marsala. It was fabulous. Stevie Komarak and his brother, they just do unbelievable work. We have not gotten them in. We almost did, and then Steve had some type of rotator cuff surgery. We'll get them in sometime in the near future.
We'll be right back.
Dr. Joe, it can get very confusing, but the one thing we need to know is GLP-1, right? That's the magic cure.
Yeah, they're on the med, and these medications are used, these GLP-1s, for reducing inflammation in your body. I get so many folks that are like, wow, I don't have the knee pain. I don't have the...
Because once you start losing weight, all these other things naturally happen to you in a positive way. Not just talk about the deals for KTRS listeners at stlmedweightloss.com.
All KTRS listeners, they get $50 to $100 off their first month. And what's beautiful about it, too, hey, I get it. The economy, what we just had, guys, things are difficult right now, but we make the plan work for you. We have financing options. We make this work for you because we realize how important it is to get down in your weight, get your confidence back, and really start feeling like the old you.
Call stlmedweightloss.com and ask Dr. Joe. stlmedweightloss.com.
I'm Mark Cantor. Here's why you can count on Cantor Injury Law.
My name is Michelle. I'm a litigation paralegal at Cantor Injury Law, and you can count on Cantor because we are smart, honest, and hardworking.
I'm Kevin Glenn, and a partner here at Cantor Injury Law. You can count on Cantor because we make your cause our cause.
No fee if no recovery. please visit CantorInjuryLaw.com or call us at 314-628-9999.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Let's talk about legacy. Yingling, 196 years of brewing. Family owned for 6 generations. That's elite. That's first ballot Hall of Fame status. But even the legends evolve. So meet the next generation of light beer. Flight, just 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. This isn't some watered no flavor regret in a can beer. Flight is crisp, clean, and actually tastes like beer. It's time to level up, St. Louis. Flight from Yingling. DG Yingling & Sons, Pottsville, Pennsylvania.
A message from the master. If you are looking for that one-of-a-kind gift this year, come on in to Newssetter's Fine Jewelers. Let Richard draw your future present for somebody you love. This special engraving lasts a lifetime. At the corner of Big Ben and Doherty Ferry or at wowdiamonds.com.
Mama's on the Hill is the legendary birthplace of the Toasted Rav, and Mama's is the premier family restaurant on the Hill. Make a reservation online at mamasonthehill.com.
Galmish & Sons have been providing quality heating and cooling services since 1950. They work exclusively with Lennox, the preferred choice of St. Louis homeowners. Call Galmish & Sons for your next Lennox HVAC installation and service. 314-993-1110.
Are you retired? Are you thinking about retiring? Who is helping you with retirement? Might be time to check out the show When Retirement Happens, hosted by Kevin Lloyd of Legacy Wealth Advisors. Saturday at 1, Sunday at noon on the Big 550 KTRS.
Royal Banks of Missouri is proudly reinvesting in its hometown of University City. Their new branch at 8550 Olive Boulevard is now open to serve you. Visit their team in University City to discover how they can help you refresh your finances and invest in your future today. Call 314-212-1500 or go to royalbanksofmo.com for more information. Royal Banks of Missouri, member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Hey guys, it's time for lunch. I highly suggest that you go to 3 Bay Barbecue and Bakery to get yours. Everything on the menu is so good. Saucy rib sandwich, a favorite of many of us here in the studio. Also, they always have amazing specials, of course. You've heard us say it before. Remember, delicious barbecue, delicious baked desserts. Recognized now all around the country. They're on the best of list for many things. Best food you can get at a gas station, and there is good reason for that. It is homemade, fresh, delicious, outstanding. The back of the Phillips 66 station at Clayton Road and 141. Just absolutely love it.
All right, going to be a big night in St. Louis. The Blues try to end a 5-game losing streak at Enterprise against Vancouver. And they have brought up Dalibor Dvorsky. The future is now for the Blues. I'm anxious to watch that game tonight on a big new TV. Which there's no way I'll have installed. Unless I call my brother-in-law.
Julie Buck and our friend Randy Naughton up next along with Max on the Carney Show. Keep your dial right here all the way through the Heidi Glauss Show later on today as well. It's been a fun day. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Make it a great one, everybody.
Stop feeling embarrassed about thinning hair and start looking and feeling your best with Hair Grow by New Nordic. Available online at Amazon, Walmart.com, and NewNordicUSA.com, or at your local CVS.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eloquist.com or call 1-855-ELOQUIS.
John, what are you doing? Get in my car. So why are you walking to work?
Thanks, man. It's these insanely high gas prices. They're draining my bank account. I can't afford to drive anymore.
Dude, don't walk. Just do what I do because I never pay full price for gas anymore. I use the free Upside app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Oh, wait. You're telling me you get paid cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yes, I get real cash back every time I buy gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make around $200.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas.